So there's an advanced organization trick that I want to show you that I've learned to do in terms of managing my audio files. In Logic, right now, I've got all these files. They're all stored in the Logic projects folder. So when I go to the Logic project, I show package contents, I check the media, audio files, and I've got all my guitar parts over here. All these bits are organized in this folder, as we know. So what I tend to do with my recordings is I tend to save them in my personal sound library. So they don't stay only project specific, but they're in my general sound library, and I can use them not only for this project, but I can use them for other projects. And so let's have a look at how I do that. So in Logic, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Project Settings, click Assets. I'm going to deactivate Copy Audio Files into the project. And then I'm going to close this. I'm going to transfer these guitar audio files into my personal library. My library is actually in my Ableton defined user library. And I've got a section here called Melodic. And then I've got a guitar section here. And under guitar, I have this artist named Isaru, where I've got all his guitar parts, and they're actually named by track. I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to name it Funky Dance Moves Guitar Isaru with the key and the tempo. And now for this, I'm going to take all of these audio files, and I'm just going to transport them into here. Now, on my computer, it won't transport while Logic is open, so I'm going to close Logic. I'm going to save. And I have all my project files transferred. I'm going to reopen Logic, and let's see what happens. I get this window that says it can't find all of the guitar files in its original location. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to click Search. And basically, it automatically found all of these files in this folder in the user library. And it's referencing now from this folder over here. So I'm going to press Save. Then I'm going to close the project. And let's reopen it again just to make sure that it's referencing correctly. Bada bing, bada boom. It's referencing perfectly as expected. So I'm going to close this again. So now I'm going to open the project in Ableton. And in Ableton, the guitar files are missing. Now, in order to find them, I'm going to click here where it says media files are missing. And it's going to ask me to search, and I can just click once here on the magnifying glass to search for it. It's going to find the file. I'm going to double click it. It's going to ask me if it should check in the same folder, and I'm going to click yes. And it's found all of the files that were missing. This is another great reason why you should keep your audio files well organized. If they're made and cut into nice loops, you can reuse them for other projects. And rather than having the audio files stuck just in a single project, you can put them in your main sound library and access them at any time from one central location. So what if you have an issue where your computer can't actually locate the file? So let's take one of these files from the trumpet, and I'll just bring them outside and put them on my desktop. And let's reopen the project in Logic. Now, it can't find this file that's missing. So I can click Locate here and then reference it to the file on the desktop. But I'm going to show you how to do it from the audio project bin, just so you know what happens if you see the exclamation mark. So just for now, I'm going to skip it. Let's say it just can't find it for some reason. I'm going to skip it. And when I go to my project audio bin, and I check on the trumpet, it's got this exclamation mark saying that the file is missing. Now, if I want to find the file, I can double click and I can select locate. And then I can go to the desktop and I can click the file and it's going to reference the file from the desktop now. So let's recreate a similar issue in Ableton. So I'm going to take all the trombone files and I'm just going to drag them onto my desktop. I've got to close my Logic project first. So they're all here on the desktop. So I'm just going to reopen the Ableton project. And we can see here all the trombone files are missing. So in order to find them, I can click here where media files are missing. And as we saw earlier, we can either click the magnifying glass, you can set a folder, and you can have it search at the desktop, for example. So I'm going to use the automatic search this time. And it's found all the files. If you still can't find your missing files, you can come up here to the top right-hand corner and use the Mac Spotlight search to search for your missing files. So a couple of different ways to find your missing files.